Why is the pairing of metal and mythology so common, and why does it work so well? Metal bands are famously drawn towards mythology for a number of reasons which we will talk about in this video, starting with the epic themes and stories. Mythology is filled with larger-than-life stories of gods and creatures, heroes and epic battles that ignite your imagination and fill you with wonder and awe. These stories perfectly align with metal's tendency to create intense and often exciting narratives. And what's more compelling than a terrifying bloodthirsty minotaur or a god raining fire from above? Bands find it a natural fit using mythic tales to express themes of struggle, conquest, or even love on a grand scale, which in turn makes their music feel more grandiose and even timeless. There is certainly an escapism aspect to the stories that draws in both the bands and the fans alike. Mythology offers a means of storytelling which take people away from their mundane, ordinary, boring lives, and then transports them into worlds full of mystery, intrigue, and fantasy. Worlds full of possibility. Now this is very cathartic, especially after a long hard shift at work. The last thing you want to do is pop on your headphones and listen to, the struggles of the modern day. No, this is escapism music. You want to go on a fantastical quest. You want to hear about the gods and strange creatures. It is a form of escapism, and I think that brings in a lot of people. Now, that's not to say mythology and metal can't be grounded. Metal artists can use the struggles of the mythological heroes and gods to create metaphors for existential battles, internal struggles, such as fighting depression, inner demons, or, struggling with existential crisis. There is also a plethora of mythological stories and poems to use as a concept for an album or a song. The sheer amount of wondrous and adventurous material out there is actually quite staggering. It's like candy. It's like being a kid in a candy shop. You have the curiosity of Pandora's box, the cautionary tale of Icarus, or even the epic odyssey of the king of Ithaca, Odysseus.
Triumphant, champion of Ithaca. Let a new life begin. My journey has come to an end. Whoa.
That was the fantastic progressive metal band Symphony X and the epic The Odyssey, which is all about the aforementioned Odysseus and his quest. It's a sprawling yet complex 24-minute song with many twists and turns, which keeps you engaged the entire way through. It has intense moments, somber ones, grand choruses, all fitting within the story that it's borrowing from. These grand, epic, mythological stories lend themselves so well to these progressive metal tracks or melodic death metal tracks. They work so well in tandem. The reason metal works so well with these stories is it kind of mirrors, the intensity of metal. It could be like a shipwreck, a chase scene. The intensity of the music itself just works with the content of the story. It can also be very melodic and whimsical, feeling like you're following along in the journey of the protagonists themselves. Now, Symphony X are no stranger to mythology, having recently put out 5, the New Mythology Suite, and before that, Twilight in Olympus. Now, 5, the New Mythology Suite is all about Atlantis, astrology, and ancient Egypt. Now, speaking of ancient Egypt, that was the intense song Sacrifice unto Sebek by the death metal band Nile, who have become popular with their technical and brutal style of playing, but also the use of Egyptian mythology within most of their songs and albums. In a stark contrast to the previous song, this is more savage and unrelenting, fitting the actual lyrics and themes of the mythology. Reading from the footnotes, Sebek the crocodile was the personification of evil, and wandered the fields at will, killing and eating whatever or whoever crossed its path. So you can see why this style of metal paired perfectly with this mythological story and god of mythology. You know, you have this half crocodile, half human going around eating whoever crossed its path, just lends itself with the brutality of death metal perfectly. They are both heavy in subject matter and in intensity. Now, there are many other bands that incorporate mythology into their music, such as Enslaved, Tyr, and even Amon Amarth. Even the mighty Iron Maiden has got mythology in the repertoire. Of course, The Flight of Icarus being the main one, and the Power Slave album, my favourite album by the band. Love that to pieces. But what other reasons are bands so consistently drawn to this topic for? Well, the visual appeal is another factor. The gods, the weaponry, the characters themselves. They all provide dramatic visuals that complement the music perfectly and the intensity. Think of the fierce Norse gods like Thor and Mjolnir, or the elegant pharaohs and the pantheon of half-animal, half-human-like gods. All instantly recognisable and make for eye-catching artwork, both on album covers and in music videos, which is sure to leave a lasting impression on any viewer. Another big reason is band members' own cultural roots and identity. Many metal bands are inspired by their own cultural background and want to explore this heritage and share it with the world. Some examples of this: Scandinavian bands such as Amon Amarth, Enslaved, and Bathory use Norse mythology as a way of expressing their roots, while other bands may pull from Egyptian, Mesopotamian, or other Eastern mythologies to do the same thing, and even Celtish. This in turn gives the music a more personal touch and connects them with their ancestral stories. There is also a darkness and raw nature within these myths, which gives it an eerie, dark mood, very compatible with metal itself. Topics such as the underworld and apocalyptic events give a brooding atmosphere which many metal bands love. So in summary, mythology offers a cornucopia of themes, imagery and characters that pairs well with the intense dramatic nature of metal itself. This in turn allows bands to tap into timeless stories that feel both ancient and otherworldly, helping bring them to life in a musical format. It's an ideal match, and personally, I love the use of mythology in metal. But what do you guys think? What's your favourite use of mythology in metal and your favourite bands that use it? Let me know down below. Do you love mythology? Do you want more epic tales in your music? Let me know down below, and we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.